Interesting.
Interessante.
Warren Ball and our group chat.
Welcome to Saugerties Stallions baseball here at Cantine Field. We're in game 2 of 2 of a doubleheader between the Stallions and the Outlaws. This is Curtis Jorgensen.
And that's Pico Scala.
And we're ready to deliver baseball. Kevin Napoleon's on the hill. Brendan Brundage is about to step into the box, and we're about to get things going here at Cantine Field in Saugerties, New York. Saugerties won the first game of the doubleheader. These are 2 7-inning games, 4-0. And game 2 is about to be underway. Kevin Napoleon working from the stretch, as he always does, and it's a big swing and miss from Brundage to start out game 2 here at Cantine.
Yeah, so as Pico said, stepping on to the box right here is center fielder number 3, Brendan Brundage of the Outlaws. He's out of Coconut Creek, Florida, and coming off of his sophomore year at the University of South Carolina upstate.
He takes a big swing and a miss, count now 1-2. Brendan comes in hitting .305, 15 runs scored, and 13 RBIs. In the first game today, he went 0 for 3 with a couple groundouts and a strikeout looking. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball fouled, first base side out of play.
For those of you who don't know, this is the second game of a doubleheader tonight. And it will only be 7 innings long, so don't be surprised when we say one team has won or lost after 7.
Here's another 1-2 from Napoleon. Fastball way up and out, count now 2-2.
Stallions won a big game against the Outlaws in the first game of this doubleheader, 4-0, as they shut them out. Great pitching out of Nick Massa, Jack Kelly, and Matt Pouchard.
And a good start here for Kevin Napoleon with the strikeout swinging of Brendan Brundage.
So that'll bring up the first baseman, number 18, Ben Dubas. And Dubas is out of Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, going into his senior year at Alvernia University.
Ben comes in hitting .274, 22 runs scored, 1 home run, and 21 RBIs. So nice start to the year for Dubas. He takes a fastball, called strike from Napoleon. Count 0-1. Dubas went 1 for 3 with a double, a pop out to short, and a ground out to Gonzalez at first. His double, one of only 3 hits for Oneonta. They got 3 hit in those 6 innings as he hits a deep fly ball into right field. Going to be a long run for LaGravenese, and it's going to go over his head off the wall on the fly. The throw in, Gonzalez was going to back up. Dubas was about halfway between first and second. Great throw in there from right field from actually Justin Toohey, who is in the game for LaGravenese. And it's a booming single for Ben Dubas.
Yeah, what a great play there by Justin Toohey. He played it perfectly off the wall, got it off one hop, and chucked it right back in. I thought that was a double all the way for Dubas, and I even thought it might have been out, and since it wasn't, at least I thought it was a double. And Toohey doing a good job of holding him on first, and it's a much different inning now without a runner in scoring position for Napoleon.
Ian Fair steps into the box, takes a fastball on the inside corner for a called strike.
Yeah, Ian Fair, the DH tonight, out of Walpole, Massachusetts, and he's coming off of his freshman year at Northeastern University.
Breaking ball line down the right field line. It's going to be a base hit. It's going to be fielded by Toohey, who bobbles it. Fair's going to go for second. The throw's going to come from second, just not in time, as the cutoff went into Atlenberger, who was not able to get the wrap over in time. It's going to be a single and an error on Justin Toohey. And just like that, second and third, 1 out for Oneonta.
Yeah, and so after the great play in the previous at-bat off of Dubas's bomb, that easy little flare by Ian Fair, bobbled out there by Toohey, and he ended up giving up that extra base that was likely from Dubas's hit. And so now it's second and third, 1 out for Napoleon, in a little bit of a jam here to start. And bringing up the cleanup hitter and right fielder tonight, Mike Brown.
Yeah, one of the most dangerous hitters, if not the most dangerous hitter in the Outlaws lineup, as the Stallions bring the corners in. Middle infield will trade in out for a run, but a ground ball to Gonzalez or Kelder at third will probably be a throw home, or if Dubas doesn't go, it'll just be an out at first. But they'll try and cut off the run. Middle infield giving it up.
And you are right, Beeks, about Mike Brown's danger in the box. He, along with Ian Fair, who is currently standing on second with that single in the previous at-bat, Mike Brown and him, the only two guys in the Outlaws lineup batting over 300. Mike Brown at 320 so far this year through 122 at-bats.
Chopper to second. The throw's coming home. Throw to Taft. He picks it but cannot hold on to it. It was a good throw from Atlenberger. Just one hop. Taft put the tag on and would have had Dubas dead, but he was not able to hold on to the ball. So it's going to be an RBI ground out for Mike Brown. And after not scoring in 6 innings in the first game, the Outlaws strike after only 1 out here in the second game.
Yeah, and I thought that was a pretty good decision there by Altenberger. It was a nice cherry hop right to his chest, so he had a good shot at getting Dubas at home. He just couldn't quite make the throw there. And Andrew Taft doing a good job of blocking it, almost picking the ball, but unfortunately it just popped out. And so not a great start here for the Stallions, down 1-0.
Yeah, and the shortstop, Matt,
still threatening.
Yeah, they are still threatening. Matt Sucroft takes a big swing and a miss at off speed from Napoleon. It's now first and third. Mike Brown was 1 for 1 in stolen base attempts. He swiped third in the first game. He's now on first, and Napoleon shows him a little respect, checks on him over there. He is 14 for 15 on the year, so guy who is very tough to get running.
Absolutely, and with first and third, 1 out here in the top of the first, it might be worth it here for the Outlaws to do some funny business on the bases.
It's a high fly ball into left field. Should be enough to score the run at third. It's going to be fielded in left. The throw is going to be cut off, and Mike Brown's going to go to second base. The run is going to score in Ian Fair. And just like that, Oneonta with a 2-0 lead on the sac fly from Matt Sucroft.
Yeah, and that one, Sucroft just barely getting far enough to plate that runner from third in Ian Fair. And also another kind of defensive blunder there by the Stallions, as it was low-key, so you couldn't really notice, but left fielder Clay Simmons not hitting the cutoff man in third baseman Tyler Kelder, and that allowed Mike Brown to move from first base to second base, and he's now in scoring position for Mark Flynn. And so even though it's not an error in the books, it's still something that could come back to haunt them if Flynn gets a base hit here.
And he just misses one. He absolutely rips that down the third baseline, just a little foul by a few feet. So a 1 count on Flynn, who did not play in the first game. He's in left field replacing Dorian Jenkins, who went 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout.
Yeah, Mark Flynn, the left fielder tonight out of Huntington, New York. And he'll be going into his senior season at Columbia University next year.
Quick 0-2 count on Flynn. So Napoleon 1 strike away from getting out of this, only giving up 2 runs. Mike Brown, a very speedy runner and a dangerous runner on second.
And
with 2
also
away.
big, Mark Flynn tonight is the K-man. And he's now down 0-2. Not a great position to be in if you're the K-man. That means the Saugerties fans are going to start clapping, as they do, and cheering on Kevin Napoleon, trying to get some free drinks.
Backdoor breaking ball just misses the outside corner. The count now 1-2. Tell you what, Kurt, between the first game and the second game, Mike Brown has been very impressive on the base paths. He's tagged up to second on 2 fly balls, going from first to second now, and swiped third base. Here's the 1-2. Brown fakes to third. Big swing and a miss. Even though 2 runs are across on 2 hits, a man left on base, the fans have 2 for 1s.
A very bittersweet inning there, as the Stallions do go down 2-0. But as we were saying before, 2 for 1 beers if Mark Flynn goes down on strikes, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, Napoleon beat him on a high fastball, but Stallions, before they even get to hit, they're down 2-0. Coming up in the bottom of the first, it's going to be Altenberger, Feinstein, and Forlow to try and strike back against a team that only got 3 hits and no runs in the first game. Looks like the Outlaws' bats were really ready to go there in the first tonight.
Absolutely. Just shaking the rust off in that first game. Now they're back and ready to play.
As we said, the Stallions, with the 4-0 victory in the first game of the doubleheader, and Kurt mentioned it was behind tremendous pitching from 3 guys. It was Nick Massa, Jack Kelly, and Matt Pichard, who threw 4 innings, 2 innings, and 1 inning respectively, and they each gave up 1 hit, and they combined for, I'm going to do the math right now in my head, 7 strikeouts.
There you go, attaboy.
Nick Massa, 4 innings, 3 Ks, actually 2 hits and a walk. Jack Kelly, 2 innings pitched, 3 Ks, and no hits. And Matt Pichard, 1 inning, 1 K, and 1 hit.
Yeah, so phenomenal pitching in the first game. And here, a little shaky start for Kevin Napoleon, but he's still got a few more innings to try and get back on track. 2 runs in a 7-inning game is nothing to worry about. If you give up 2 runs every game, that is definitely something to be proud of. And so he'll have at least probably 2 more innings to get back on track. As I said, Napoleon normally a reliever for the Stallions, but due to many different injuries and whatnot, they've had to shift around some of their pitchers, and Napoleon now starting games for them.
Ryan Altenberger steps into the box and takes a fastball high for a ball from Cal Lawrence, the big righty on the mound for Oneonta.
Yeah, Altenberger, the second baseman tonight out of Warren, Illinois, and he's coming off of his freshman year at Xavier University. Either Xavier or Xavier.
It's a hotly debated topic, Kurt.
I haven't figured out. Found somebody who can definitively say one way or the other.
Personally, I'm a Xavier guy myself.
I personally say Xavier as well, but I think there's many people that would disagree with me.
3-0 to Altenberger inside, so a 4-pitch walk for the Stallions. They're in business with the leadoff man on for their center fielder, Matt Feinstein.
Yeah, Feinstein tonight. He played it in the first game, and he is out of Old Brookville, New York, going into his junior year at Dartmouth College.
Altenberger came in batting 0 because he was 0 for 3, but he went 1 for 3 in the day cap. So he has his first hit as a Stallion. Matt Feinstein now in the plate, as Kurt mentioned, with Altenberger on first. We still haven't seen a strike from Cal Lawrence, as there it is, a fastball called strike.
And Cal Lawrence on the mound for Oneonta. He's out of Mahopac, New York, and he'll be going into his junior season at Binghamton University.
Feinstein comes in hitting .260 as Lawrence checks on Altenberger. 28 runs scored and 19 RBIs. He went 1 for 3 with an RBI single in the first game, so now up to 20 RBIs. The 0-1 to Matt. Low and the count 1-1.
Altenberger so far no stolen bases, but also no attempts. And so Cal Lawrence just trying to keep him honest there, as he is their leadoff guy, so you always got to be careful when they get on base, and especially with Altenberger's lead off of first. He is probably a good length and a half off of first base.
Fastball called strike there, dropped by Nick Camarelli behind home, but the home plate umpire, Leo Centrone, who was on the bases for the first game, thought it was a strike, and looking at the replay, it was over the plate. Here's the 1-2 to Feinstein as Altenberger takes off, but Matt just spoils it down the right field line, and Altenberger will have to go back.
Yeah, Altenberger with a good jump there, but it looked like it was hit-and-run call all the way, and since that ball was a strike, Feinstein had to swing and at least foul it off.
Yeah, it looked like a little sharp breaking ball there over the plate. Here's another 1-2 from Lawrence. Breaking ball, and it hits Feinstein on the hand, and he's going to take first base.
Yeah, Feinstein a little slow to get out of the box. He's wincing a little bit out there. Seems like he'll be all right, just painful at the moment.
It's always a scary spot to get hit because those fingers get jammed right on the bat, and as we look at the replay, it went right off his fingers and straight back behind home, but
Absolutely. It doesn't matter who you are, how tough you are. Things like that can knock a player out for a very good amount of time. We even see guys in the majors, you know, doesn't matter how big and strong you are. If you get hit in that wrist or the finger area where it's pretty much all bone, that could be bad news. Fortunately, Feinstein okay, and he's over on first for Matt Farlow stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, the Stallions second baseman in a good spot for Saugerties. First and second, nobody out without the Stallions even hitting a ball in fair territory yet. They're trying to quickly come back from a 2-0 deficit.
Yeah, Matt Farlow out of Cold Spring, New York. He just had his senior season at Manhattan College, but he will have one more year of eligibility there.
He hits a fly ball out into right field, a long run for Mike Brown, who was shading him towards center, but he makes the catch and throws in as Altenberger will tag up and take third. So it is a successful sac fly as the Stallions have a man on third with less than 2 away for their cleanup man, Jack Gonzalez.
Absolutely. Even though Farlow did get out there, it's a productive out, moving Altenberger over to third base for Jack Gonzalez. And now all he's got to do is not ground into a double play or strike out or pop out, and that run should be scored. And so we'll see what he can do here. Gonzalez, I believe, leading the entire Stallions team in RBIs with 27. And so definitely the guy up at the plate you want right now. And he's going to try and at least cut this lead in half.
Yeah, he looked good in the first of these 2 games as well. He went 2 for 3 with a double and a single as Feinstein takes off first. The throw from Camarelli is going to go all the way through, but it's going to go out into center field. Feinstein's going to go to third, and Altenberger's going to come home. He's going to score. The throw to third's going to go to the backstop, but it's backed up by Cal Lawrence. So almost a disastrophe, but definitely a disaster. It's 2-1 Oneonta.
Well, it depends on the perspective you're coming from, Beast, because it could almost a disastrophe for the Stallions, and then it turns into probably a disastrophe for the Outlaws, as it looked like they might have had a decent shot at Feinstein at second, and unfortunately the ball getting under the glove of both the second baseman and the shortstop, allowing the man on third, which was Altenberger, to score, and then Feinstein to get another base himself. So now what we were talking about with Gonzalez just needing to put the ball in play to get the runner on third home, that is now Feinstein coming from first all the way to third. And instead of cutting the lead in half, he's going to try and tie it up.
So great aggressive base running by the Stallions. Whitaker sends Feinstein. And Kurt's right, it was going to be close. I think he was going to make it in there. But then the throw went all the way into center field, and that allowed a run to score and Feinstein to simply trade places with Altenberger at third. It's a 2-1 count on Gonzalez, a guy who can flick his wrist and put the ball out into the outfield. Here's the 2-1 to the Stallions' first baseman. Outside, count now 3-1.
And I just want to answer Lisa Pascariello's question here. Annie, is Jeff playing? And I'm assuming she's talking about Jeff Palczewski, as I don't believe there's any other Jeffs on the Stallions. And he is not in. He was in for Game 1 of this doubleheader. He was behind the plate for that one, and Coach Tommy Whitaker decided to give him Game 2 off.
Yeah, Palczewski played great, went 1 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI in Game 1, so he was right in the middle of it, played great behind home plate as well. And after catching 7 innings in the hot sun, Tommy Whitaker gives him the nightcap off as the payoff pitch is lined into the glove of Ben Dubas at first. And the one thing you usually don't say is you can't line out. That one was absolutely ripped, though, and Gonzalez just missed extra bases.
Yeah, that one actually looked like it went even behind Ben Dubas's head. I mean, he had to use every bit of his reflexes to grab that one. I mean, I don't think Jack Gonzalez could have possibly hit the ball harder than that.
So
and
Gonzalez,
unfortunately, it's Ben Dubas's lucky day. He stuck his glove right up there. And I don't think our camera angle even got there fast enough to show you the play because it was hit so hard. So unfortunate streak of luck there for the Stallions, which would have tied this game up. And now Clay Simmons up at the plate has to do it the hard way.
Yeah, the Stallions left fielder who had a great night, or really had a great day in the first game, went 3 for 3 with 3 singles. Down 0-1 to Cal Lawrence and 2 swing misses on breaking balls low. Count quickly 0-2 on Simmons.
Yeah, Simmons originally played for the University of South Florida, but he either is transferring or has transferred to Marshall University since. And so that's where he'll be playing the remainder of his college career.
It's a swing and a miss from Clay Simmons, so a big strikeout there from Lawrence to get out of the jam, only giving up the 1 run. And the Stallions score 1 on no hits and 1 man left on base at the end of 1 full inning of play. It's 2-1 Oneonta over Saugerties as we head to the 2nd inning from the Stallions broadcast booth here in Cantine Field. And thank you to everyone who has commented. Those comments could be the winner of tonight's giveaway, this white Stallions hat.
Yeah, very important comments, whether you knew it or you didn't. Those comments gave you a chance to win this, as Biko said, beautiful white Saugerties Stallions ball cap, as we have been doing a promotion, and it has rapidly become popular. Giveaway every night, and me and Biko chose a predetermined number comment before the game, and if you are that number comment, then you could win this Stallions ball cap. And so if you have anything to say, whether it be about the game, about the broadcast, or just about the world in general, we'd love to hear it, and it can give you a shot to win this.
Yeah, and if you're wondering why Kurt is in a full uniform right now, it's because he could be called in to pitch for the Stallions at any second tonight.
That is true. For those of you who don't know, I am broadcaster become player. It's the dream of every broadcaster. Usually
that's a good point.
They're washed up baseball players who just want to be a part of the game. And I actually got recruited to the Stallions after they lost a couple pitchers to injury, and so they figured I was coming to the games anyway. They might as well just sign me, as I am a pitcher, and they might need me tonight. And so I am in uniform just in case I get the nod from pitching coach Stephen Freer down there.
It's going to be 7-8-9 for Oneonta here in the top of the 2nd. They lead 2-1 on the 2 runs they scored on 2 hits in the first. And Aaron Freed, the second baseman, takes a big swing and a miss at the first pitch from Kevin Napoleon. Freed went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a pop out to first in the first game. When he was at first, he's now DHing tonight. Or he's at second, I'm sorry.
And Biko, I also did want to mention, along with the comments for the possible hat, if everyone could like and share this broadcast, that would be greatly appreciated. We are trying to get as much exposure for the Saugerties Stallions organization as we can. And so if you're going to comment, you might as well just throw a like and a share our way as well.
They're so close to each other. You know,
all the buttons are right there.
You could sneeze and click them all at once.
I would like to see you try. I'd be very impressed with. If you do happen to do that, please let us know, because you might win the hat right then and there.
It's a 1-2 count on Aaron Freed, as the 1-1 was actually a scary moment. He fouled it straight back towards the Outlaws' dugout, and they all had to duck. It went over 3 of their heads as the 1-2 is fouled on the first base side foul.
And Aaron Fareed, the second baseman tonight out of Ossining, New York. And he'll be going into his junior season at Quinnipiac University.
Freed comes in hitting .232, 1-2 high, and the count now 2-2. 9 runs scored, 14 RBIs on the year so far for him. And Kevin Napoleon making only his 2nd start of the year, as Kurt mentioned. He was a reliever for the majority of the season until injuries plagued the Stallions, as Freed able to spoil another 2-strike pitch.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of teams in the PGCBL have been facing some injury struggles, including the Stallions. They are no different. So a lot of guys, or a lot of these teams, having to recruit just guys that they know play baseball and are in the area. I know Stallions have also recruited a couple guys from out of the area, one of them being Jack Kelly, who we said threw 2 innings last game. And he flew in all the way from Florida just on the drop of a dime. He was here, and then all of a sudden he's getting put on the mound to pitch for him. And, I mean, that's huge recruitment there for the Saugerties Stallions, and a lot of these other teams having to do the same thing.
And Aaron Freed, after battling very well against Kevin Napoleon, frozen on the inside fastball. So he goes down looking, his 3rd strikeout of this doubleheader. And that'll bring up the catcher, Nick Camarelli.
Yeah, Camarelli out of New Jersey. And that's all we know about him. and he's from Southern New Hampshire, New Hampshire University.
Yeah, Camarelli only with 12 at-bats so far on the year and not on the Oneonta roster.
Yeah, he's one of those new guys I was talking about. Just teams plagued with injuries. It's a very long season, so they gotta get any ball players that they possibly can, and so Camarelli one of them. And along with the them being so new, we don't have a lot of information about him.
The information we do have is he scored 2 runs. He has no RBIs. He's so far this year 2 for 12. And when I was grilling the Oneonta Outlaws and their coaching staff about him, all I could get out of them was New Jersey. He is coming from...
He is, in fact, from New Jersey, though.
Southern New Hampshire University. As Napoleon steps off, it's an 0-2 count on Camarelli.
Camarelli's really taking his time in there. It actually looks like he is crowding the plate quite a bit. His back foot right on the inside part of the batter's box, along with his front foot, both of them right in there. If Napoleon could put maybe a 2-seam fastball right in on the inside half of the plate, that is going to be tough to hit for Camarelli.
These Outlaws hitters fighting off with 2 strikes. Camarelli able to spoil one there from Napoleon. Count still 0-2. Fouled straight back. We'll do it again. Kenneth Walther says, I was excited to hear my son on the broadcast earlier. Kenneth, the father of Hunter, who was on the broadcast with me earlier. And if Kirk gets called out to the bullpen, I'm sure Hunter will hop on this real quick, as we had a great time earlier. And Camarelli able to take the breaking ball. It was Hunter Jackson's first time on a broadcast this entire summer, and he was great to have on.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing just getting here and all of a sudden you're doing a broadcast. It takes a lot of preparation, and I know I had to work late doing my bridge construction, and so Hunter stepped in and did a phenomenal job, I thought, of just kind of jumping in, and all of a sudden here he goes on a broadcast, and at least you didn't have to do it alone, Beeks.
Yeah, it was great to have him with me, as it's a 1-2 count now, 2-2 on Aaron Freed, and he didn't even get to be in for the first half inning. He literally was walking by, and I said, Hunter, you want to hop on the broadcast after the first half inning? And he was ready to roll.
There we go. Love to see that. Minuteman ready to go at any time.
The 2-2 fouled off. And Nick Camarelli having a heck of an at-bat. He's going to get the 8th pitch coming from Napoleon. Napoleon already with 3 strikeouts tonight out of his 4 outs so far, although he has given up the 2 runs.
Absolutely. And also Outlaws really making him work as well. As you said, 8th pitch of the at-bat. That will be the 9th.
It's a fly ball out to left field, and it's going to be caught out there by Clay Simmons. So another long battle between Napoleon and an Outlaw, and Napoleon wins that one with the fly out to left. It'll bring up the 9-hitter and catcher, third baseman Connor Wozlanak. Connor went 0 for 2 in the first game with a pop out to second and a strikeout.
Yeah, Wozlanak out of Endicott, New York. And he'll be going into his junior season at Binghamton University, much like their starting pitcher tonight, Cal Lawrence.
Big swing and a miss, count now 0-2. Wozlanak comes in hitting 132 with 5 runs scored and no RBIs so far this year. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, so 2 strikeouts and a 1-2-3 inning for Kevin Napoleon. And at the end of 1.5, Stallions trail 2-1. We'll try and even it up in the bottom half of the second here at Cantine Field in Saugerties, New York.
Yeah, just got to keep chipping away. They did go down to a 2-0 deficit in the first, but they put that in half in the bottom of the first, and then now they're trying to tie it up or even take the lead here.
And it was impressive to see the Outlaws break out to that 2-0 lead in the top of the first inning on their 2 hits and the sack fly, of course, as Kevin Napoleon only a 2.13 ERA in 25 and a third innings coming into tonight. He's 1-0, only walking 6 and striking out 23. So Napoleon having a tremendous season for Saugerties.
Start. Absolutely. And you know who also has a real good start is the girl in the white out there as they are playing Dizzy Bat Potato Sack Race.
Classic here at Cantine. Classic.
Very classic. There's and I was saying, though, the girl in the white got off to the big lead.
Oh, she crashed and burned.
The girl in the tie-dye shirt all the way on the left comes out of nowhere for the big come-behind lead. The girl in the white can't even finish. She is absolutely gassed. Put her all into that, but it didn't quite pay off. And a huge win there for a girl in a tie-dye shirt.
Yeah, great shout out to Rebecca Rivette, too, for getting the video for you guys of that Dizzy Bat Sack Race live. I mean, it's one thing to get the commentary, but then to really see it
we can paint as good of a picture as we can through our words, but it's not going to be anywhere close to the kind of picture we can paint with some video. And so
just
shout out
saying,
to Rebecca.
Just me saying crash and burn doesn't really encapsulate how much that girl fell down.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, she was, tough break. That's as close to actually crashing and burning as you can get.
Right, if she actually had an engine.
Yeah.
I think it would have lit on fire.
Lit on fire, yeah.
It's going to be 6, 7, 8 for the Stallions. Kelder, Teeter, and Taft. Tyler playing third base takes a hack and fouls that one off first base side out of play.
Yeah, Kelder out of Kingston, New York, only about a 20-minute drive south here of Saugerties. And he's coming right out of high school, will be a freshman at St. Bonaventure University this upcoming season.
He hits a ground ball down the third base line, fielded by Wozlanak, thrown across the diamond in time. So 2 pitches, 1 out here in the bottom of the second for Cal Lawrence.
And so that'll bring up designated hitter for the night, number 26, Nick Teeter. And Teeter has an even shorter drive than Kelder does. Kelder 20 minutes south of here, and Teeter about 5 minutes away as he is a Saugerties native. And been a Stallion the entire season.
It's a fastball high to Teeter, who comes in hitting .229 with 11 runs scored and 9 RBIs on the year. He fouls that one off at home plate. So the count now 1-1 on Teeter.
And Bigo, you know what happened that we didn't notice?
Did they change pitchers?
They got a new pitcher in there. And nobody knew it. And nobody thought to tell us. But
no one ever thinks to tell us,
in fact, done some investigative reporting since. And
that's right.
I found out it's number 25, Josh Winkler. Winkler, the 6'3", 190-pound righty out of Eilson, Alaska. And he's coming off of his freshman year at Northeastern. I had to pause after Alaska because I think this is the first time I've ever said that state here in our broadcast.
Yeah, Alaska not 20 minutes south of us. That's,
no,
that's
it is
trip.
not. That's probably, I'm not even going to guess.
I've never been out there.
But it's very far from Saugerties, New York.
Closer to Russia than Saugerties.
So good for Josh coming here to upstate New York to play some summer ball. And he's now in to pitch.
It's a 2-2 to Teeter, who was able to foul that backdoor breaking ball off. Here's another 2-2. Fastball swing and a miss, so Winkler beats Teeter with the heat, and with 2 away, it'll bring up the Stallions catcher, Andrew Taft.
And Biko, since I figured out that it's a new pitcher, I've also done some more investigative reporting and figured out his stats for the year. So this is his 10th appearance.
Does he have an 8.2 ERA?
He sure does. I was going to get to that. But, yeah, just so you guys know, 8.20 ERA through his 10 appearances so far. He's thrown 26 and a third, given up 34 hits and 25 runs in those 26 innings, and 17 strikeouts, 19 walks, so can get a little wild from time to time. And as Biko told you, 8.20 ERA. That was a pretty good guess, Beeks.
Thanks, Craig. I was looking at him, and I said, this guy's probably got an 8.2 ERA at this point in the PGCBL season, you know?
That is very impressive.
Andrew Taft quickly down 0-2. Oh my goodness. Eric Schuer asked what the abbreviation for Alaska is. I think it's AL, but I don't
believe
really know.
that's Alabama.
Yeah. Is it
And
AI?
I believe AK is Arkansas.
I know that. Yeah.
And
Double A? AA?
So I don't know.
I know it's not AA. You know what, Eric? You absolutely stumped
You really
me.
have us stumped.
It's a hard ground ball in between first and second, past the dive of Aaron Freed. So that's the first hit of the night for the Stallions. That's also the first hit of the night for Andrew Taft, who went 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a double play, and a ground out in the first game. So good for Taft to get on the board with the hit, and that'll bring up the right fielder Justin Toohey.
Yeah, Toohey, the right fielder tonight, also out of Kingston, New York. And he'll be going into his sophomore season at Lemoyne.
I think Alaska's AI, Kurt.
And I'll take your word for it.
Well, maybe in between the inning we'll turn to Google.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. We can.
As Doug is telling us it's AK. I really thought that was Arkansas, though.
I could have sworn that was Arkansas, but that might be AR.
This is the kind of tough stuff in the booth, as it's a line drive base hit for Justin Toohey, just out of reach for Matt Sukroff at short, as Taft will stay at second. So a couple two-out singles here for Saugerties. Gives them first and second with 2 away for their leadoff man, Ryan Altenberger, who's 0 for 0 on the day with a walk, a stolen base, and a run scored.
Yeah, it took them 8 batters to do it, but they finally got their first hit and then a second one to follow. And now runner in scoring position here with 2 outs for the Stallions' second baseman.
Toohey didn't play in the first game, but he came into that at-bat hitting 143. As it's a ground ball to first, it's going to be fielded on a hop by Dubas. And just like that, the Stallions' rally is stifled. But they do get 1 hit, strand 2. And at the end of 2 full innings of play, it's 2-1 Oneonta from the Stallions broadcast booth here at Cantine Field. And now we're going to, we'll stop with all the suspension. Not suspension, that's wrong. The suspense.
Yeah, cut a few of those letters off.
Thanks, Kurt. And I'm going to look up the Alaska abbreviation.
And until then, I'm going to go over some of these comments because we have a whole lot of them.
It's AL.
It's AO.
L.
AL. I was wondering where the O came from.
AL. So, Eric, I guessed like 5 times and got them all wrong. I don't know why I didn't guess the first 2 letters of the name of the state, but
who knows?
Eric, you stumped me again.
Yeah, Eric Schuer is saying, I need to call Syracuse admissions office. And
we don't have a...
We're already in, so there's nothing you can do about it now. So
we
nice
slipped
try,
through the cracks, Eric.
we put on a smile and they let us in.
Yeah, I tell you what, I wore some Syracuse plaid socks to my interview.
I also wore some Syracuse socks to my interview.
Flashed them under my suit pants, and
it was big.
That's the secret to get into a school that normally only lets 12% of the students in.
Yeah,
you just got to wear the socks.
Just charmed our way in there.
There's no abbreviations class. I'm going to mention that, too.
No, they haven't gotten to that in any of my classes
I know
yet.
They're in my AP style book.
Yeah,
I mean, who reads through all that, Kurt?
I think state abbreviations is a senior elective.
Okay.
And so I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Yeah, neither have I. That's a good point, Kurt.
Also, I want to say here, Eric Schuer just coming at us with some crazy comments. Actually, I'll get to that one later because Biko just brought out the hat.
I wasn't even going to explain it. I was just going to put it here while you talk, Kurt.
Oh, well, if you have a comment, much like Schuer does a lot, and would like to comment something, please do so as you have a chance to win a Saugerties Stallions white ball cap. Me and Biko will choose a winner at the bottom. Usually it's the top of the 9th, but it'll be the
top of the 7th.
Top of the 7th in this game, as it will only be a 7-inning game. And enough of us. Now we're going to get back to baseball as Kevin Napoleon back in there to start the top of the 3rd.
And unfortunately for Brendan Brundage, his bat just broke in half. That's the second bat that absolutely shattered today. The first one was Ben Dubas's in the first game. And it's a ground out to Matt Forlow, or actually, I'm sorry, to Ryan Atlenberger at second, as the switch up of the defense for the Stallions has really baffled me so far this broadcast.
Yeah, that one, unfortunately for Brundage, his bat splitting right in half. And as soon as he hit it, just the ball deadened, and so there was really nowhere for it to go. And Stallions get the first out of the inning, bringing up first baseman Ben Dubas.
Yeah, Ben 1 for 1 on the day with a run scored. He had a towering single as he hits a soft ground ball. Going to be a tough play. Barehanded by Atlinger. The throw picked at first by Gonzalez in time. Tremendous play from Atlinger and Gonzalez. And just like that, there's 2 outs.
Yeah, and a lot of confusion there on that play as it was a little chopper in between the pitcher, first base, and second baseman. And nobody really knew who was going to get it. And fortunately, they were all on the same wavelength and able to make the play. Also, great reaction there from Gonzalez making the pick there for the second out of the inning.
Brings up Ian Fair, the DH, who's also 1 for 1 and has also scored a run tonight.
And I didn't get to mention it before, but Brundage's bat, I mean, he's going to need some new lumber beaks.
Yeah, Melissa Smith actually tells us to call Williams Lumber. She is darn right.
Yo, she is darn right, as Biko said. You got to call Williams Lumber when you need some new lumber.
Yeah, if you break your bat or you need any other lumber.
Any kind of lumber you
bat
can think
lumber,
of.
house lumber, shed lumber, lumber.
What is lumber?
Just lumber for lumber's sake.
Okay. Just to have.
Just to have in case you need some lumber for other stuff.
Well, either way, call Williams Lumber when you break your bat, or in any other situation you may need some wood.
This game's been flying by. Brendan Brundage was 0 for 1 with a strikeout before he grounded out to second. It's a deep fly ball to right field. It's going to be a tough play. Out in right center field, it's going to drop for a home run. That's where it's going to drop.
Just simply drop right over the fence.
On the wrong side of the fence for the Stallions, it's a solo home run with 2 outs for Ian Fair. And just like that, Oneonta takes a 3-1 lead.
And you know what, Beeks? Off the bat, I really thought that was, I mean, I knew it was hit far. But I thought one of the Stallions outfielders would have had a shot at it, and then it just kind of kept going and going, and surprised me and obviously you, as you said, it dropped in there for a home run, and it was actually a booming hit to right field.
It casually dropped in
for a solo homer there.
A soft 370-foot home run out there. So Ian Fair, his second home run of the year, a tremendous summer so far for him as he also leads Oneonta in batting average, as it'll bring up the cleanup man, Mike Brown, who takes a breaking ball called strike. Mike is 0 for 0 on the day with an RBI fielder's choice. It was a ground ball to Atlenberger at second, where he really had a shot at Dubas at home, but Andrew Taft just not able to handle the throw and the run scored. And breaking ball called strike, count quickly 0-2 on Brown. Probably one of the worst home run calls you could possibly have. It dropped in there.
It just dropped in there over the fence.
It really surprised me.
I believe it surprised everybody. I mean, looked like a lazy fly ball off the bat, and then I thought even if it did drop in there, it would be on this side of the fence, and it would probably be a double. And then, as I said, just kind of kept going. And it was to a pretty deep part of the park. Looked like it was about over the 360 sign. So
yeah. Right out there by Andreessen Associates.
Yeah, a little over 360 feet on that one. An impressive home run there for Ian Fair. And now with 2 outs, Mike Brown still trying to keep the Outlaws threatening.
Fly ball to right field. This one looks like Tui is under it. He will make the catch, but 1 hit, none left on base, but 1 run for Oneonta, a big one. The solo home run from Ian Fair makes it 3-1 Outlaws. Coming into the bottom of the 3rd inning, Stallions coming to bat, and it'll be the top of the order for Saugerties.
And so before I didn't get to some of these comments, but I would like to get to a few of them because there's some quality material here in our
agree,
feed.
Kurt.
Earlier on in the game, it was the first comment of the game. Haven't gotten to it yet, but Eric Schuer saying, Kurt, it's good to see you back in the booth. As I said, I did miss the first game of this doubleheader due to work. I was supposed to work my bridge construction job until 3 p.m. I ended up staying there until 5 p.m.
That's how they get you.
And that's when the game started, so didn't get here until about middle of the game, and I let Hunter finish it out. But Schuer saying, Biko was lost without you.
Tell you what,
and
Kurt.
that makes me feel really great.
Yeah, I mean, I had a great time with Hunter, but, you know, it's tough.
It's not the
making
same.
It without you, you know?
It's just not the same. I could tell as soon as I showed up and I was listening to you, and you definitely didn't seem comfortable. So I'm glad I could be back here for you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Kurt. As you have been watching the sponge race there, it looks like a tight one.
There is a sponge race going on, some side field shenanigans.
Big win for the girl in the white shirt. The one who's closest to you.
Girl in the tie-dye shirt back out there trying to go 2-0 here tonight in side field shenanigans. But this one couldn't quite win, and so she is now 1-1 on the night, dropping to 500 on the season.
It's going to be Feinstein, Forlow, and Gonzalez here to start off the bottom of the third inning. I lied to you. I said it was the top of the order. It's actually 2, 3, 4. So tricked you. Ha-ha. And
bet you guys fell for that one.
Bet you guys thought I was right. Feinstein so far 0 for 0 on the day. He was plunked and then stole second base, but was stranded at third. And it's a 2-0 count on the Stallions center fielder. The 2-0 popped up in foul territory. It looks like Ben Dubas is actually going to catch it in fair territory right around first. Got you guys again. And there's one away here in the bottom of the third inning.
You're quite the trickster here tonight, Beeks.
Got to keep everyone on their toes, Kurt. It's going to bring up the shortstop tonight, Matt Forlow, as Luke Pedersen was at short in the first game, went 3 for 4 with an RBI, and Whitaker was very happy with that performance, decided to give him the nightcap off. And Forlow is 0 for 1 on the night with a fly out to right field. He takes one that just misses, and the count 1-0.
Winkler been doing a good job here against the Stallions since he came in. We didn't even know that he was pitching when he first started, but got a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the second, and now here getting the first out for the bottom of the third. And so just kind of low-key keeping the Stallions off balance.
Yeah, big swing and a foul ball there from Forlow. Count now 1-2. And Winkler, a guy who struggled so far this summer in the PGCBL, and you're right, Kurt, he has looked great tonight. He did give up those two-out singles to Andrew Taft and Justin Toohey, but was able to pitch around it. And so far with 1 out in this inning and a 1-2 count on the Stallion shortstop, Matt Forlow.
Yeah, and I was saying before, he tends to have some control problems as he only has 17 strikeouts to his 19 walks this season. But tonight looks like he's right on the money, hitting basically all of his spots. And has yet to walk anybody, I believe, as well.
You are correct. The only walk was to Ryan Atlinger at the start of the game, and that was not him pitching, as it's a lazy fly ball. Brendan Brundage in center is going to be called off by Mike Brown in right. So it's a fly out to right for the second out of the inning, and it's going to bring up Jack Gonzalez, who was robbed of extra bases in his first at-bat. He lined one down the first base line. Would have tied the game at 2 as well, but Ben Dubas was able to snag the line drive.
Yeah, really frustrating at bat, but there's really nothing you can do about those. You just got to get back in there and try to do the same thing. I mean, eventually those balls are going to get in there. And when you hit them that hard, it'll pay off for you. So Gonzalez should not change a thing here in this at-bat. And hopefully it'll get by the first baseman, Ben Dubas.
Yeah, and Gonzalez went 2 for 3 with 2 rips, a double and a single in the first game. So he's seeing the ball well today as he takes one low in the count 1-1.
Yeah, and as he usually does, Beeks, Gonzalez coming into the first game of the doubleheader today, batting .266 on the season through his 143 at-bats. And he also has 25 runs and 27 RBIs to go along with that. Also, not likely to strike out as he only has 24 through his 143 at-bats this season.
The 1-2 line down the left field line. It's going to fall for a base hit. Gonzalez is rounding first. He's heading towards second. He'll be in there with a stand-up double. And just like that, Jack having a tremendous day. Should be 4 for 5, but he's 3 for 5. And he's on second with a 2-out double. Tell you what he is 4 for 5, and he's 4 for 5 in Qs.
And for those of you who don't know, Q's quality at bats, as the term is coined by our former JV coach Joe DeFino, who rewarded his players not for hits, which many coaches do. And, you know, as we saw before with Gonzalez's first at-bat, sometimes you can hit the ball as hard as you possibly can and it will not be a hit. So quality at-bats is what you strove for in our JV team. And that's basically when you either get on base in any way, shape, or form, or if you just hit the ball hard somewhere.
I'll bring up Cal Lawrence. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a 3-pitch strikeout. When Cal Lawrence was in the game, it was the last batter Cal faced. So hopefully for Oneonta fans and for everyone in the league, Cal is okay. As it's a drive into deep right field. It's going to be a tough play. Mike Brown back and will make the catch right in front of the Van Valkenburg insurance sign about 370 feet away. So Simmons gives it a ride, but no runs are across on the double from Gonzalez he's stranded on. And at the end of 3 full innings of play, it is 3-1 Oneonta from the Stallions broadcast booth here at Cantine Field, heading to the 4th inning. As I was saying, Cal Lawrence, who looked good in the first inning of work, gave up the 1 run, but that was on an error from his catcher Nick Camarelli, where the ball went into center field on his throw. He looked good. I figured he'd be in for a lot longer. Oneonta only actually brought 5 pitchers down to Saugerties tonight.
Yeah, so almost.
And Josh Winkler is the 3rd one, yeah. And Cal Lawrence was out after 1 inning, so hopefully all is okay with Cal. But Josh Winkler doing a good job in relief.
And just another couple comments I'd like to get to. As I said, a lot of quality ones out there. John McKenna saying, "Go Army, beat Navy."
Great to see John on the broadcast.
And that is awesome seeing John back with us. As I believe this is likely his father, John McKenna, and it is. But there used to be a Stallions player named John McKenna.
That's a great thing to point out.
Pretty much every day, 3rd baseman for the Stallions. Hit 2 home runs for them, and also just had great overall stats for him. And
yeah, he was.
Unfortunately, well, fortunately for him, but unfortunately for the Stallions, he was a West Point cadet, and going into his sophomore year, he had to go to training camp a little early in the summer, and so he left us about 3 weeks ago. But nice to see his father still tuning in to watch some Saugerties Stallions baseball.
It's going to be 5-6-7 for Oneonta here in the top of the 4th as the shortstop, Matt Sukroff, takes a big swing and a miss on the first pitch from Kevin Napoleon in his 4th inning of work. Sukroff is 0 for 0 on the day, a sacrifice fly out to left field in his first at-bat. That drove in the 2nd run of the night for Oneonta as he foul tips the 0-1 into Andrew Taft's glove, and the count quickly 0-2. Hits a little loopy liner out into right field. Long run for Justin Toohey, who comes in and makes the catch right next to the Stallions' 2nd baseman, Ryan Atlinger.
So that'll bring up the left fielder tonight, Mark Flynn, who is 0 for 1 on the night with a strikeout, and that was a big strikeout, as he is the K-man. He got Stallions fans here at Cantine 2 for 1 beers by delivering with a strikeout in his last at-bat. We'll see if Napoleon can get him again and give these fans a real good night.
Fastball just misses the outside corner, count 1-0. Napoleon with 4 strikeouts so far in his 3 1/3 pitched as he gets a big swing and a miss on the 1-0 from Flynn. Flynn, one of the few Outlaws who didn't play in the first game, playing now. He came in for the left fielder Dorian Jenkins. The 1-1, breaking ball, foul down the 3rd base line, and Stallions fans 1 strike away from double 2 for 1s tonight.
So here we go, Napoleon stepping back onto the mound, also known as Wild Thing to many of the fans here around Saugerties, for his bright white glasses he always has on when he pitches.
Here's the 1-2. Fastball swing and a miss. The K-man delivers again. And Kevin Napoleon keeping Stallions fans happy.
And that
it's
is
the
huge.
second out of the inning.
We quickly see a bunch of fans pour out of the VIP section to go get their free adult beverages. And the K-Man delivers twice tonight. And that will also be the second out of the inning, bringing up the second baseman, Aaron Freed, who also has a strikeout and is 0 for 1.
Yeah, Freed struck out looking to start out the top of the second inning, which is the only inning up to now that Oneonta has not scored in. Napoleon 1 out away from getting another scoreless inning as Freed tries to check his swing, but Leo Cintrone behind home plate makes the call himself, says that Freed went around. Here's the 0-1. Popped up in the infield. Jack Gonzalez comes in and then goes back and will make the catch on the outfield grass. So a 1-2-3 inning for Kevin Napoleon. And the Stallions coming up to bat in the bottom of the fourth inning. Oneonta still leads 3-1 from Cantine Field here in Saugerties, New York. And Kurt, I mean, we have a plethora of great comments.
Yeah,
we can never get to them. We're going to try and grind through some more.
No, they've actually been very quick middle of the innings.
That's right.
And so I'd just like to say Annalise Fair saying nice hit, Ian Fair. And nice to see. We also have some Outlaws fans here tonight.
And that certainly was a nice hit, too.
It was a very nice hit.
As nice of a hit
the home run
get,
that just happened to drop over the fence.
Casually dropped over the fence.
And so
it turned out to be a bomb. It turned out to be a bomb.
It was a very it was hit very far, to say the least.
I'm gonna estimate. We don't have our stat guys here to measure it. I'm gonna say 365 feet on that one.
It did land just over the 360-foot sign out in the outfield. So
that's where it comes from. I'm using my head, you know.
Good job, Beeks. Good
Thanks,
job.
Kurt.
Madison Seacott, always here to listen to Biko and myself saying, Kurt, yay, you're here. And that's pretty awesome to hear that from some people that they do miss me when I'm gone.
Kurt, I mean, you are missed. Even if, I mean, Eric did say he was lost. I was lost without you. Eric normally ragging on you, but
it's also pretty awesome that Madison is listening to us here tonight, as we learned very early on that her brother is on the Glens Falls Dragons. And she first listened to us when the Dragons were here to play at Cantine, and she's pretty much been on every broadcast ever since.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And so that's pretty awesome. She has really no part in either of these teams, but still wants to watch some good baseball and listen to our broadcast. So thank you to Madison for that. And so here we go. Bottom of the fourth starting between the Stallions and the Outlaws. Outlaws still have a 3-1 lead. Stallions trying to cut into that right now. Tyler Kelder at the plate.
Yeah, Kelder 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out to Wozniak at third. And he's quickly down 0-2 after the called strike and the swing and a miss. And it's a swing and a miss. He's heading down to first. The throw from Camarelli in time. So a 3-pitch strikeout of Kelder, who came into the at-bat hitting .304 with 13 runs scored and 24 RBIs. And that'll bring up the Stallions DH, Nick Teeter, who is 0 for 1 on the night with a strikeout swinging.
Yeah, Teeter is 0 for 1, but he's a very solid hitter coming into this day, batting .229 through his 96 at-bats, also plating 11 runs and 9 RBIs.
He takes a fastball low from Winkler, who is in his third inning of relief, as Kyle Lawrence was taken out after just 1 inning of work, where he gave up the only run the Stallions have gotten tonight, and it may have been an unearned run. I'm not sure how the scoring will go, but the 2-0 is fouled back onto Washington Avenue over the Outlaws dugout. It scored on a throw down to second from Nick Camarelli that went into center field.
Yeah, it says the Outlaws out there have 1 error, and I'm not sure if that was on that play or one of the others.
Foul tip straight into Camarelli's head mask, so Leo Cintrone will give him a little time to get his focus back after he took a fastball off the head.
Absolutely. Might have really bamboozled him on that. And so he's got to recover a little bit.
So the count 2-2 on Teeter as Rob Vanderbeck gives the out-of-town scoreboard. Utica is down 4-1. Utica the closest team to the Stallions, who right now control the last playoff spot as the 2-2 misses high in the count 3-2. Stallions' magic number is 4.5, and it's actually now down to 3.5 after they won the first game today.
Absolutely, and this could be a big win for them against the Outlaws. Outlaws right now last in the East, so not one of the better teams, and you got to play well against the teams that you technically should beat according to the standings, and that's how you earn those playoff spots.
It's a ground.
So far, they did that in the first game, and losing this one, they're going to have to rally in these last couple innings.
That's right, as it's a hard ground ball up the middle that is fielded by Sukroff, who throws out Teeter. So quick 2 outs here for Winkler in the bottom of the fourth. Andrew Taft steps in, who has one of the Stallions' 3 hits on the night. He singled in the bottom of the second inning with 2 away. He rips one, but fouled on the third base line. Almost takes out the Stallions head coach, Tommy Whitaker. Here comes the 0-2 to Taft. Fastball just misses, and the count 1-2.
So here we go. Winkler working very quickly now.
Breaking ball low, count now 2-2. Winkler winding and delivering the 2-2. Fastball popped up in foul territory, but it looks like it'll stay in play. Long run for Ben Dubas, who just runs out of room. It falls about 3 feet out of play, and I don't know if Ben Dubas ever had a chance at that. Someone maybe would have had to hold his feet at the one side of the fence for him to get over there.
Absolutely. If he had obscenely long arms, I could see maybe he would have had a shot at it.
Another 2-2 fouled off, so the count stays the same. Taft battling in there.
I tell you what, Beeks, Winkler working extremely quickly. I mean, basically as soon as he gets the ball back, he's right back on the mound, ready to throw another pitch.
As you say that, another 2-2 comes, and it's fouled off by Taft.
I can't even get a word in edgewise. Trying to do some in-depth analysis between pitches, and Winkler just wants to get this last out here.
It's going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Andrew Taft. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Oneonta leads 3-1. They scored 2 in the first and 1 in the third. Stallions 1 run in the first. The 2-2 just misses, and the count full at 3-2. Camarelli just couldn't hold on to that one.
Yeah, and it actually looked like a very close pitch. I feel like if Camarelli was able to hold on to it, it might have had a better shot at being called a strike. But with the drop ball, there's almost no shot that one's going to be called strike 3. As I believe if it would have been, Tommy Whitaker over at third base might have probably exploded.
It's a fair chance that scientifically that's what would have happened to him. Another payoff pitch this time, and it's going to be fouled out of play down the first baseline. So after 9 pitches here between Winkler and Taft, we're going to have to go to the 10th pitch of the at-bat. And as you look at the replay of that 2-2 that was just off the glove of Camarelli, it certainly was close. Here's another payoff pitch. Breaking ball, ripped foul. Absolutely tattooed, but also almost 180 degrees behind Andrew Taft.
Yeah, it looked like he was a little bit in front of that one, pulled it almost directly over the Stallions' dugout by third base and into the parking area. Somebody yelling from the stands, "Don't hit my car." And I'm not sure if there's much he can do about that, but I can see why they would be worried. That recently happened to me in Albany when we were playing the Dutchman. I drove up there and caught a foul ball to the windshield, and now I have a newly replaced windshield.
So the 11th pitch of the at-bat is a bouncer in the dirt. Andrew Taft works his walk, definitely earned it. Here's Justin Toohey, the right fielder, is 1 for 1 on the day with a single. And it's a wild pitch. Andrew Taft breaking for second, and he's going to get there. So that is a big, wild pitch. Stallions now have a runner in scoring position with 2 away.
And Biko, speaking of Toohey, I saw John Toohey was watching, who I believe is a relative of some sort. I would guess father, but don't want to guess wrong.
There's a good chance.
But I know that Justin Toohey's sister is on the Ulster Phillies, and I'll let you know the rest of my story after Biko makes the call here.
It's a fly out to left field. Toohey hit it hard, but directly to Mark Flynn. So Stallions threaten with the walk, leave Andrew Taft on second base, and at the end of 4 full innings of play, it is 3-1 Oneonta, and we'll give you the floor, Kurt.
Yeah. So as I was just saying before Toohey so rudely interrupted.
Oh man.
I was talking about his sister, who is on the Ulster Phillies, which is a travel softball team here out of Ulster County, New York. And I just got word, Beeks, that the Phillies are playing in the travel softball World Series.
Wow.
And so that is no easy feat. That's very impressive. And so I know John Toohey and Justin are probably very proud of her. And I got word that somebody wanted to give them a shout out, so I'm going to do that for them.
And Eddie Lauderette with I think one of the best comments we've had all year long. He says Biko is a stud. Thank you so much, Edgar.
Yeah, the truthfulness of the comment might be a little obscure. Might have to fact check that one, but I'm sure Biko does appreciate the thought.
Tell you what, Eddie, likes fly out for me very rarely on these broadcasts. You've earned the first one tonight. That's it's a well-thought comment.
Congratulations for that.
Great to see Tom Tom back on the broadcast, too, as Tom Tom has been commenting a lot tonight. Says, hey, let's go Stallions, and then I am back.
And he sure is. Tom Tom, a former Saugerties foreign exchange student out of Hong Kong. He was beloved by almost everybody here in Saugerties. And,
I don't know who he wasn't beloved by.
I'm sure people that didn't know him is who he wasn't.
It was impressive how even if you didn't know him, I think you might have beloved him.
Yeah, you could. He played the saxophone for the national anthem a couple times here for the Stallions, and now he's still showing his support all the way from China. So congratulations there to Tom Tom. And we're going to start the top of the fifth.
Yeah, we got baseball going on here. It's the catcher, Nick Camarelli, 8-9-1 for Oneonta. It's a 2-0 count on him, and he pops one up in foul territory. Long run for Jack Gonzalez right at the edge of the fence, and he will watch it bounce. I'm not sure if that bounced on the fair side of the fence or on the out-of-play side, but it bounced real close to it. Gonzalez, I don't think, had a chance at it. So it's just a strike on Camarelli, count now 2-1. He's 0 for 1 on the night with a fly out to Clay Simmons in left field. It's going to be Camarelli, Wozlanak, and then Brundage at the top of the order. Napoleon in his 5th inning of work, and this one's fouled over the Outlaws dugout on the first base side. Count now 2-2.
Yeah, Camarelli was coming into this game batting 167, but he only has 12 at-bats so far for the Outlaws. He has plated 2 runs.
2-2, foul tip into the glove of Andrew Taft, strike 3. And it's a 5-pitch strikeout for Kevin Napoleon here to start out the top of the 5th. It's going to bring up the third baseman, Connor Wozlanak, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout in his first at-bat. And Rory Bisignano says, Kurt, take a look. He is. So there you go. He checked out to see if I am a stud, and
okay, well,
Rory Bisignano
there
back
we go.
it up.
Yeah, I can't argue with the facts.
Thank you very much, Rory and Edgar, for just explaining to Kurt how it is in life. As Connor Wozlanak takes a fastball, called strike 1-1 on the Outlaws' third baseman. He swings and misses, count quickly 1-2 now.
So here we go. Napoleon comes set.
1-2, swing and a miss. Kevin starts out the top of the fifth with back-to-back strikeouts. And that's going to flip the order over to the Outlaws center fielder Brendan Brundage, who's 0 for 2 on the night with a strikeout and a ground out to Attenberger at second base.
And Napoleon just kind of low-key dealing right now. He's struck out the last 2 batters and made the 2 previous pop out to first and struck out the one before that. And so we haven't been talking about how well he's done tonight, but he seriously has. Only made a couple mistakes. That top of the first inning, he gave up those 2 runs. And so a rough start for him, but he's really, brought it together after that. Only giving up the one mistake, home run to Ian Fair, but otherwise had a phenomenal night.
Yeah, Napoleon has retired 6 straight, and he's got an 0-2 count on Brendan Brundage now. Brundage went 0 for 3 in the first game of the doubleheader with a couple ground outs and a strikeout. Napoleon working from the stretch as he always does. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss in the dirt. Brundage heading down to first, keeping the bat with him, though, as Andrew Taft will throw him out. So Napoleon strikes out the side, all swinging. He's retired 7 straight. He's gotten a groove. Stallions looking to get his back with some offense heading into the bottom of the 5th inning. Oneonta still leads 3-1 here from Cantine Field in Saugerties, New York.
Yeah, 4 of his last 5 outs have been for strikeout speaks. He has been amazing. And we're going to take a brief break here as Kate Smith is going to do her rendition of God Bless America. We'll be back right after.
Come in between us.
Hey, everybody. We are back after Kate Smith sang some God Bless America. And who to join us after that but John Clayton here.
Hey, guys.
Another Saugerties Stallions pitcher, much like myself. He's a little better than I am, though, as he was an all-star for the Perfect Game Baseball. He got the win in the all-star game, and he's here to chat with us for a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Kevin Hinchy out there singing his rendition of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." What do you think about that, John?
He's a character, man.
It's
fun to watch him go out there.
That's a good way.
Fans enjoy it.
It's a good way to put it. I'm sure they definitely do, and it's definitely a lot of fun.
I don't think this is on, so I'm just going to take this off.
All right. Well, Clayton joined us quickly, and he took off his headset, so that's all he's got to say for the night. Colleen Clayton does say hi, my boy, and she's always excited to see him here in the broadcast booth.
It's top of the order for the Stallions as Ryan Altenberger steps in and is quickly down 0-2. As George McDonald also says, nice haircut, Clayton.
Yeah, a couple nice haircuts. Compliments on your haircut, Clayton. And Biko, I think if anybody's a stud in this broadcast right now, it's Clayton with the new do.
Well, we'll see what people say. I mean, so far I've got 2 stud votes, and I haven't heard one for Clayton yet. As Altenberger battling in the box. Another 0-2 swing and a miss. He was 0 for 1 on the day, now 0 for 2 with the strikeout. He's also scored a run, and stolen a base. Brings up the Stallions center fielder, Matt Feinstein, who's 0 for 1 on the day with A pop out to first, a hit by pitch, and a stolen base.
And there's one, Beeks. Curtis Jorgensen saying Clayton equals stud, and I mean, I'd have to agree with whoever that stud who commented that is.
Well, first of all, I think we have to verify something here. No one has said that that Curtis Jorgensen fella is a stud yet. We haven't heard that, but it is good to see that Clayton's gotten a vote. Here's the 0-1 to Feinstein. Fastball high, and the count now 1-1. Colleen Clayton says Clayton is a stud, but I'm his mom. And I think it still counts, Colleen. It still counts. Clayton's got 2 votes now.
And there it is, Beeks.
No, well, John Clayton never said that. So that's secondhand false information as Feinstein swings through the breaking ball. Count now 2-2. John Clayton never said Curtis is a stud. He does say that Colleen Clayton is a stud, though. So
I can't disagree with that one.
You can't disagree with that one, Curtis.
There may be some discrepancy amongst who's a stud here in the broadcast booth, but Colleen, there's no question about it.
Breaking ball low, count now full 3-2 to Feinstein. Stallions trail 3-1, trying to get back into this game as they won the first of the doubleheader 4-0. Here's the breaking ball, 3-2. Feinstein checks his swing and will take the leadoff walk. So the first walk of the night for Winkler, and the Stallions have the leadoff man on in Matt Feinstein. It's going to bring up the second baseman, Matt Forlow, who's 0 for 2 on the night with 2 flyouts to right. He was also 0 for 3 in the first game with 2 groundouts and a fly out to left field. The fly out to left field, though, was a bomb to the warning track.
And Beeks, Feinstein, a very patient hitter, as that is his 28th walk of the season, which I believe is at least top 20 in the whole PGCBL.
It is top 20. As Forlow takes a breaking ball called strike, Feinstein also can run. And with nobody out, maybe not the best time to run, but down only 2 runs. Feinstein 7 for 8 on the year in stolen base attempts, which is second on the Stallions only to Luke Pedersen. Stolen base would be big for Saugerties. He takes off. The 0-1 is flied out into right field. Feinstein's going to have to run back. It's going to be dropped out in right. It's going to be picked up and thrown into second, though, in time to get Feinstein, who was really caught in a tough place. He had really no matter what he did there, he was in a tough spot.
It was definitely a lose-lose situation for him. He ran all the way to second, trying to steal it. As soon as he saw the ball was in the air, he started chugging back to first. And then when he saw the second baseman and right fielder were struggling to try and find that ball, he started running back to second. And so a really roller coaster of emotions for Feinstein there. But unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. And that'll be the second out of the inning. And taken away, well, it wasn't supposed to be a hit anyway, but it ended up taking a hit away from Matt Forlow and turning it into a fielder's choice.
So that's going to bring up Jack Gonzalez with 2 away as Winkler checks on Forlow over at first. Gonzalez 1 for 2 on the day, double down the left field line and a line out to first. That would have been a double down the right field line as he fouls the first pitch back over the backstop.
And Stallions need some runs quickly, as this is not a 9-inning game, much like the others. It is only 7 due to the doubleheader that is being played against the Outlaws today. And so instead of having...
Forlow takes off for second. Line drive down the right field line. Foul. Gonzalez is absolutely hitting the cover off the ball today. He just missed what would have been an RBI double down the right field line.
And again, about as hard as I've ever seen a baseball hit. He is just clobbering the ball wherever it goes. Unfortunately, he's getting some bad luck hitting them foul or directly at people.
Yeah, just needed to put that one about 4 feet to the left, and it would have been an RBI double down the right field line. Instead, it's an 0-2 count on Gonzalez, just a hard out, or a hard strike, that is, and the 0-2 is low, so the count 1-2 on Jack.
And as I was saying before, Beeks, Stallions are running out of time to try and tie this game up. It is only 3-1, so it's not beyond their reach, but instead of having 10 more outs like they would in a normal 9-inning game, they've only got 4.
Forlow takes off for second, fastball inside, and Matt's going to steal it standing up. That's a big stolen base because he is now in scoring position with 2 away. And it's a Benson steal
they have
from
7
Matt Furlow.
outs left. They do
That's
have
right,
7.
Kurt. That's right. We are in the bottom of the 5th.
As opposed to their normal 13 that would be left.
There you go. Some serious math on the spot for you, Georgie.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been in school, so I don't do math usually.
2-2 swing and a miss from Gonzalez, and he falls down. So a big strikeout for Josh Winkler as he gets out of another little jam. Stallions get 1 man on the walk, but he is stranded on second. And at the end of 5 full innings of play, it's still 3-1 Oneonta from the Stallions broadcast booth here at Cantine Field, heading to the top of the 6th.
And you know what, Beeks? I've been wanting a hat. I've been wanting a white Stallions baseball hat.
I've got a Stallions baseball hat.
You've got one right here.
But I'm not going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to one of our fans on the broadcast.
Yeah, but what do you got to do to win it?
You just got to comment, Kurt.
Well, I've commented.
Oh, well, you could win it. That's a very good point. Kurt, you do have 2 comments. You could win it.
It's true. I commented, so I'm in contention to win the Saugerties Stallions white ball cap. And if I'm that random number, I could win it. And if you're that random number, you have just as good of a shot as I do.
That's right.
And so all you got to do is comment on this broadcast. Tell us your feelings about whatever you want. And
it could be anything.
You could be in contention. We'll let you guys know the winner in the top of the 7th. Beeka will show you all angles of the ball cap. Why don't you put it on, Beek? Show people how a stud rocks their hat.
Oh, that is a great point. That is yeah.
And so if you would like to be as studly as this man right here, throw a comment our way, and you could possibly win it. And while you're at it, if you want to like and share our broadcast, we would greatly appreciate that. We would be super happy getting some exposure. Colleen Clayton asking, if I win the hat, could you 2 sign it? And
I would love to sign it, Colleen.
Nobody's ever asked me that before, and I would definitely have to work on my signature a little bit, but I think we can manage for sure.
As we're back to baseball, it's the top of the 6th inning. Kevin Napoleon still in the game for Saugerties. It's going to be 5, 6, 7. Or I'm sorry, it's going to be 2, 3, 4. I was looking at the Stallions. Stallions are not hitting against Kevin Napoleon. It's the Outlaws. Ben Dubas, Ian Fair, and Mike Brown do up, the heart of the Oneonta order. Ben Dubas in at the box. He's 1 for 2 on the night with a booming single off the right field wall on the fly, as well as a ground out to Altenberger at second. And he pops one up behind home plate. Andrew Taft doesn't see it, but he's running back now, and it's going to fall just out of reach for him on top of the backstop.
So that could have been a big one, as Dubas, one of the hotter hitters here in the Outlaws lineup. But unfortunately, Napoleon going to have to get back on the mound and do it again.
Yeah, Ben Dubas, the only Outlaw to hit a double today, and he's hit 2. Of course, Ian Fair has a solo home run, which is a little better than that. But Dubas' 2 doubles and Fair's solo home run, the 3 extra base hits for the Outlaws today, as the 0-2 is popped up in the infield. Kevin Napoleon's making the call himself. He's going to call off his catcher and make the catch right in front of the pitcher's mound for the first out here in the top of the 6th.
And so that's going to bring up the man we were just talking about, DH Ian Fair, who is 2 for 2 on the night. He had a single in his first at-bat and then a booming home run in his last to put the Outlaws up 3-1.
Yeah, he scored 2 runs, of course, an RBI as well, as he drove himself in on the ding-dong to right center. And he takes a fastball called strike.
You're right, Beeks. That is a ding-dong if I've ever seen it.
So it's an 0-1 count to Fair, as we have the birthday boy here in the broadcast booth with us.
Hey, what's going on, buddy? We got 2 visitors here in the Crime Doesn't Pay broadcast booth. You got anything to say? Say Go Stallions.
Go Stallions.
There
All
you
right.
go. And
What's your name?
Keegan Senior.
Well, happy birthday, Keegan.
Happy birthday, buddy. Yeah, one quick Go Stallions. Oh, she's a little shy.
Say Go Stallions.
Nothing from her, but his was good enough for the both of them.
1 for 2 is batting 500.
Thanks for visiting, guys.
Thank you so much. Happy birthday. It's a 1-2 count now on Ian Fair. Here is the 1-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. So An at-bat after the solo home run, Napoleon able to strike out fair swinging. That is the 9th batter retired in a row, as ever since that home run, Napoleon's absolutely locked down. He's gotten 9 in a row. This will bring up Mike Brown, who is 0 for 1 on the night with a sac fly and a fly out to right field.
And also, Beeks, 5 of Napoleon's last 7 outs have come via the strikeout. And so a very impressive stat there as well.
First pitch to Brown, a fastball up and out, and the count 1-0.
And it looks like nobody in the bullpen for the Stallions either, so Napoleon has this one all the way, at least for the rest of this inning.
Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball called strike, count 1-1. As Kurt mentioned, it's a 7-inning game here, the second of a doubleheader, which the Stallions won the first game 4-0 behind stellar pitching and great offense, actually. They had 12 hits in the 6 innings they batted for their 4 runs. As it's a 2-1 count now on Mike Brown, as that breaking ball just misses. But the Stallions have been stifled so far tonight, only 3 hits in 5 innings for their 1 run. Well, Oneonta has 3 runs on 3 hits while committing 1 error. The 2-1, a line drive into right center field. That's a base hit. Mike Brown with great speed rounding first. He's going towards second. The throw from Feinstein sails over the head of Matt Forlow, so it's a 2-out double for Mike Brown. And Oneonta with a man on second for the shortstop, Matt Sukroff.
And Beeks, that double there was straight speed out of Mike Brown. I mean, where that ball was hit would have been a no-doubt single for most other players, and he just chugged out of the box. And Feinstein, with a throw that was right on the money, might have had a chance. But, I mean, Mike Brown extremely fast, beating it out there. Now he's in scoring position with 2 outs for shortstop Matt Sukroff.
Yeah, and Sukroff 0 for 1 on the night with a sac fly and a fly out to right field. 2 of Oneonta's 3 runs were on sacrifices. The sacrifice from Mike Brown on the ground out and the sac fly from Sukroff, as well as the solo home run from Ian Fair. Fastball just misses, and the count 1-0. Andrew Taft thought about throwing down towards Brown at second. And you're right, Kurt. Brown has been a terror on the base paths in both of these games for the Stallions. He's tagged up from first twice, stole third base, and now stretches a single into a double with 2 outs, which is a very big deal because a single now probably scores him as Stallions try and pick him off, but he's in there safely.
Yes, his speed now getting in the Stallions' heads. They're trying to do everything they can to keep him close. And they do not want him scoring, as the Stallions already down by 2 runs. And 3 would make it that much harder to come back.
The 1-0, swing and a miss, and the count 1-1 on Sukroff. The Utica Blue Sox are down 4-1 to the Geneva Red Wings in the top of the 6th. They are the closest team to the Stallions for the last playoff spot, as it's a swing and a miss on a breaking ball low from Sukroff. Count now 1-2. The magic number at the start of the day was 4.5. It's now 3.5 with the first win from Saugerties. If the Stallions can come from behind here, it would be down to 2.5, and if Utica loses, it would be down to 1.5.
And Stallions, as Marlene Nella says, are running out of innings. Down by 2 runs. If Kevin Napoleon gets this last out here, they're going to have to get their bats going very quickly.
The 1-2 fouled back into the netting behind the Outlaws dugout on the first base side. Count still 1-2.
Good job there by Sukroff, fouling that one off, making Napoleon work. As I said before, usually a relief pitcher, and getting the nod to start the game tonight, and probably pitched as many innings here tonight as he would in probably a week when he was a reliever. And so he's got to be getting a little bit
The
tired
1-2,
out
Brown
there.
takes off for third. Throw from Taft, not in time. Mike Brown continues to impress. That's the second time he's stolen third tonight. And on a 1-2 pitch with 2 outs, just not when you think he's going to go.
Yeah, absolutely impressive that he stole third base, and now he could score with a pass ball or wild pitch or something, but I'm also kind of questioning the call a little bit as he was already in scoring position with 2 outs, so that means he would be off as soon as the bat hits the baseball, and with speed like his, a single pretty much anywhere in the field would score him.
2-2 swing and a miss. The steal of third base doesn't matter. And Napoleon able to get out of the inning after giving up the 2-out double to Brown. So 1 hit, 1 man left on, no runs across. It is still 3-1 Oneonta heading to the bottom of the 6th inning. Stallions have 6 outs to go and at least 2 runs to score. It's going to be 5, 6, 7 for Saugerties coming up.
And usually this comes a bit later in the game, but we got to do it earlier on now as it is a shortened game. We have Stanley the Stallion, a couple of our interns, and some local young boys and girls out there to lead the crowd in the YMCA, Beeks.
Yeah, it's a favorite here at Saugerties. Normally between the middle of the 6th inning and keeping it on schedule. Normally it's before Take Me Out to the ball game, but with a shortened game tonight, it's after. And even an Oneonta outlaw.
Yeah, he's out there loving it.
It's Dorian Jenkins out there. Yeah, you love to see that.
They're doing a little something like this.
Yeah, you know, some of that. You know what?
Just like that.
I hope we can get a shot of Dorian Jenkins out there with
this
Stanley
is
the Stallion.
this is actually a first at Cantine. Hopefully we will get a shot of him. But he's out there with Stanley the Stallion and all of our young boys and girls. The fans actually love it. He's giving them a bow. And, I mean, that's definitely a first in Saugerties Stallions history. People love Stanley out there leading them in the YMCA, but we have never seen an opposing player go out there and do it.
Stallion hasn't even gone out there and
not
do it.
even a
Dorian
Stallion.
Jenkins breaking down berries here at Cantine.
I got to say, that is one of the more impressive things I've seen today.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Good for him. He definitely rocked it, and he got the applause afterwards that he deserved.
So Matt Dean's in relief for Josh Winkler here in the bottom of the 6th inning as Winkler throws a tremendous 4 scoreless innings for Oneonta. That was something the Outlaws certainly needed, bringing only 5 pitchers down to Saugerties. Deans is one of the last 2 guys they've got in their pen, and Winkler did a great job.
Absolutely. They better hope this game doesn't go to extras because they're going to have to reuse some arms after that. But Matt Deans, as Biko said, the 6'3", 160-pound righty out of Irmo, South Carolina. He's coming off of his sophomore season at University of South Carolina, Sumter. And he's in here to try and shut down the Stallions in the bottom of the 6th.
This is his 13th outing of the year as he has Clay Simmons, the Stallions left fielder, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly out to right. Dean's a hard-throwing submarine pitcher, so the count 1-1. Tough on righties, and he has 3 righties coming up in Clay Simmons, Tyler Kelder, and Nick Teeter, as well as Andrew Taft after that, and then Justin Toohey, who is due up 5th. It will be the first lefty he would have to face.
Yeah,
it's a 1-2 count on Simmons.
Submarine, tough on anybody, but as you said, especially righties. I mean, they don't really see the ball until it is basically out of his hand.
Line drive out into right center field. It's going to be a base hit. Clay Simmons with great speed, rounding first. He's going towards second. He's going to round second. He's going towards thirds. And Simmons is going to be standing with a lead-off triple. He was down 1-2, but able to put it to the right field wall. And just like that, Stallions have the 2nd run of the game for them, 90 feet away with no outs.
That is exactly what the Stallions needed to spark a little rally here. As we were saying, running out of outs, only 6 left. And Clay Simmons doing exactly what the Stallions needed, absolutely bombing that one out into right center and chugging around the bases for a triple. And so Tyler Kelder coming to the plate with a chance to try to cut this lead to 1.
And Clay Simmons, Rob Vanderbeek just announced, playing on his birthday, having a heck of a day between both games, 4 for 6 with 3 singles and a triple, as Kelder steps in and checks his swing but gets a called strike on the inside corner. And Simmons did just what he was supposed to do with that, a 1-2 breaking ball, a little out over the plate, didn't try and yank it, just waited for it to travel on him and lined it into the gap in right center.
No, it really looks like he just kind of stuck his hands out at the ball and let the power of the ball do most of the work and just smoked it out into right center.
Kelder quickly down 0-2 after the swing and a miss.
And this strikeout right now is definitely not what the Stallions need. All he's really got to do is put the ball in play, and it will likely score Simmons. The Outlaws keeping their infield back. It looks like corners are in. So first and third, if a ground ball goes to them, Simmons may have to hold up, but anywhere else on the field would likely score him. And so down 0-2, all we really want out of Kelder here is to just shorten up and put it in play.
Yeah, Tyler so far 0 for 2 with a ground out to Wozelnak at third and a strikeout swinging. The 0-2, swing and a miss, big strikeout for Deans. And with one away, it's going to bring up Cole Teeter. Tough at-bat for Kelder, who did not agree with the first called strike and then was not able to make contact with the next two pitches.
Yeah, and Cole Teeter stepping up to the plate. He still has a shot of bringing in Clay Simmons from third, as there is only one out, so the sac fly is still in play. Teeter 0 for 2 on the night with a ground out to short and a strikeout. And if he does the former, then he's all set. But if he does the latter, that's not a good situation for the Stallions.
Dean's pumping strikes gets the first one in there to Teeter, so the count 0-1. And that strikeout of Kelder, it makes Simmons getting to third on that even better, as it's a hard ground ball to short. Simmons delays his run, but will come home and score, as it was absolutely ripped to Sukroff. But the ground ball to short gets the job done. Teeter hit it hard. And just like that, the Stallions down 3-2 here in the bottom of the sixth. They have chipped one run off of that 2-run lead.
And I told you so, Beeks. I said if he struck out, they would have some troubles. But if he grounded out to short like he did in his second at-bat, they'd be all set, and that's exactly what he did, scoring the run and cutting the lead to 1.
So that'll bring up Andrew Taft with 2 away and nobody on. And Taft kind of tries to check his swing, but definitely went around, so the count 0-1. He's 1 for 1 on the day with a single and a walk. He's been stranded twice. As the 0-1, he checks his swing that time, and it is, no, he did not check his swing. Foster West over at first base said he went around. So it's a quick 0-2 count on Taft, who is very unhappy with that call. But Leo Cintrone did the right thing going down to Foster West. Andrew Taft just didn't get the call he was looking for, as the 0-2 chopped behind home plate foul. Camarelli was on that quick. He was able to barehand that very fast. Count still 0-2.
So Stallions could use a little 2-out rally here, and don't want to save their chance to tie this game for the bottom of the 7th.
The 0-2 foul tip off of the glove of Camarelli, so Taft staying alive here. The last at-bat he had, he worked an 11-pitch walk. Down 0-2 here, he's got a long way to go against Deans. But Dean's a guy who does walk a lot of batters. He's walked 14 and 20 and 2/3 pitched. Another 0-2, swing and a miss in the dirt. Taft running to first. Camarelli takes the inside and just gets it over Taft's head.
Yeah, Taft making a little roundabout route to first base, trying to get in his way.
But the big hit by Simmons, the triple, and the RBI ground out by Teeter give the Stallions a run on 1 hit, no men left on base at the end of 6 full innings. We've got 1 more to go. Oneonta leading Saugerties 3-2 on the Stallions broadcast network here at Cantine Field.
And Biko, I told everybody that we would announce the winner of the hat in the top of the 7th, but it looks like we're going to see the bottom of the 7th here, so I might save it till then.
I think that's the best thing to do. We'll
also
show the
because,
hat one more time.
Yeah, also because I didn't go over to our intern Doug and ask him to make the count
There's
to
been
see
too much
who the
going
winner
on
is.
to go see Doug.
So we don't have a winner currently, but I will definitely do that after this.
Here is the hat you could win. A
Here it
random
is.
comment will get it.
Here it is, one of the random comments. So if you haven't already, I've given you 1 more half inning to do so and possibly be the random winner of the Stallions ball cap. And there's also one comment I wanted to get to here by Marlene Nellis saying, I think anyone listening to the two of you should have a chance to read the story of your friendship. So good. For those of you who don't know, me and Biko actually just had a fancy interview
Very
up
fancy interview.
Up here in the broadcast not too long ago. One of the reporters for the Saugerties Times came in and wanted to interview us about not only our broadcasting, but our friendship before that. We've been best friends since we were about 7 or 8 years old.
Approximately.
And we went all through high school playing baseball together and being friends. And then also now we're at the Syracuse University, not the University of Syracuse.
Not the University of Syracuse.
We've roomed together our first 2 years and now have a house next year. And so we've done a lot of stuff together, and Saugerties Stallions baseball is just one of them.
Just one more thing.
But the most exposure we've gotten out of any of those things.
That's for sure.
And so it's great of you to bring that up, Marlene. We really appreciate that. I'm actually going to put the link right here in the comments if anybody wants to read that.
It's on the interweb.
Not trying to boast at all, but it is a pretty great article, and for anybody who enjoys listening to our broadcast and wants to know a little bit more about me and Biko, there it is. And also thank you to Amelia Castor saying love you guys.
Love you too, Amelia.
We love you too, and all of our listeners.
Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in as we're in the 7th and what could be the final inning of Game 2 of this doubleheader between the Stallions and the Outlaws of Oneonta. Saugerties took the first one 4-0. Oneonta with a 3-2 lead heading into the top of the 7th, as it's going to be 6-7-8. Mark Flynn, the left fielder, leads off. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. It's a new pitcher in, Brady Peterson, in relief for Kevin Napoleon, who gave up 3 runs early on only 4 hits and then absolutely locked down. As it's a line drive into left field, it's going to fall just in front of Clay Simmons for a base hit. A rip by Mark Flynn, who was 0 for 2 before the at-bat with 2 strikeouts. So Flynn on first with the leadoff single. And that's going to bring up Aaron Freed, the second baseman. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking and a ground out to Altenberger at second base.
And a little scary there out in left field. Simmons looked like he wanted to dive for that one. It was pretty close to him, but he did not and let the ball hit the ground and then took a weird bounce, almost got by him, allowing Flynn to possibly get extra bases. But Simmons doing a good job reacting to that and holding him to just a single.
Peterson, the 6-foot righty out of Stetson, going into his senior year from North Fort Myers, Florida. And it's a line drive just over the head of Jack Gonzalez, fouled on the first baseline. It was fisted off the hands, and Freed almost put it into right field for a little flare of a single.
And Peterson, so far, this is his 17th appearance in a Stallions uniform on the season. Also, he has thrown 17 innings in those. Well, before this, it was 16 innings or 16 appearances for 17 innings. He's given up 21 hits for 18 runs, only 11 of them being earned, though. And 14 walks to 12 strikeouts. And that's good for a 5.82 ERA.
Chopper to Peterson. He's going to throw on to first to get the sure out, as it may have gone off of the hands of Aaron Freed, or he just got it so far in that it jammed him. But looks like it's going to be called a ground out to Peterson at the mound, as Mark Flynn will take second base on the ground out. And that will bring up the catcher, Nick Camarelli. Camarelli 0 for 2 on the night with a fly out to left and a strikeout swinging.
Yeah, and it was kind of unfortunate there for Peterson. Looked like he had a chance at a double play on that one. But he kind of took it off the hands, much like Fareed on that, and had to settle just for, as you said, the sure out over at first. So at least he did get an out, but now there's a runner in scoring position for Nick Camarelli.
And Nick Camarelli actually being pinch hit for by Chris Trax, who caught the first game tonight for Oneonta. And it's a fastball that just misses from Brady Peterson, count 1-0.
Yeah, Trax, 6 foot, 185-pound lefty batter, but he throws right, out of Plainview, New York. And he's coming off of a redshirt sophomore year at Marist College this past season, so he'll have sophomore eligibility there next season.
Trax almost gets one into the broadcast booth, hits right off of the little overhang in front of Rob Vanderbeck over in the PA box.
Yeah, a little scary there on that one. We've taken some foul balls directly to the back wall here in the broadcast booth, so always got to be on your toes.
Trax went 1 for 3 with a single and a couple lineouts to right and center in the first game, so hit the ball hard all 3 times. He made the prospect game for Oneonta. He fouls the 1-1 straight back, and the count now 1-2 on the pinch hitter for Oneonta.
And he's really shooting for us up here in the broadcast booth. I mean, that one only off the netting of the VIP section, but everybody up here a little jumpy after the pitch before.
Mark Flynn leads off second with 1 away. Here comes the 1-2 to Trax. Ground ball towards short. Forlow fields it on the charge. The throw to first just in time to get the speedy Trax. And there are 2 away as Mark Flynn will advance to third on the soft grounder.
And a great play there by Forlow. I mean, he had to go towards the third base side to go get that one, and brought his momentum all the way around, and so he was throwing it with his momentum going towards first. A good, strong throw for the second out of the inning.
It's going to bring up the 9-hitter and third baseman Connor Woslanak. He's 0 for 2 on the night with 2 strikeouts. But so is Mark Flynn, who's now on third base, and he singled to start off the inning. Peterson trying to keep this a 1-run game with the Stallions coming up in the bottom half of the 7th as it's popped up in foul territory. A long run for Jack Gonzalez, who will make the catch right in front of Ryan Altenberger. And Brady Peterson works a scoreless inning of relief, giving up the single and stranding 1. And at the end of 6 1/2, it's 3-2 Oneonta. Stallions' last licks coming up here in the bottom of the 7th. It's going to be 9-1-2, Justin Toohey, Ryan Altenberger, and then Matt Feinstein for Saugerties.
Yeah, pretty intense game here going into the bottom of the 7th. And hopefully the Stallions bats can come alive and at least tie this game up, or we possibly have a chance for a walk-off.
Yeah, so far we've only had 13 1/2 innings of baseball today. I'm sure everyone in the game and all the fans would love to see some more. As it's only 9:15, this would be a pretty short end compared to our 9-inning games. Normally end around 10.
Just a quick shout out here, John Jorgensen saying Harrison and Burroughs Bridge Constructors support the Stallions, and that's awesome to hear, as that is actually the company both I and my dad John work for.
Thank you, H&B.
That's they're actually the reason I had to miss the first game of the doubleheader.
Thank you, H&B.
Yeah, if they were really supportive, they might have let me leave early. As instead of working until 3 p.m. today from 7 to 3, I worked 7 to 5, which was the start time of the first game of the doubleheader. But either way, nice to hear that Harrison and Burroughs is looking out for us. And if you need to build a bridge, then check out Harrison and Burroughs. I don't know if it works that way, but
I'm sure it's pretty pricey.
I'll give a shout out to them regardless. Also, Pico, it's the bottom of the 7th inning. We've run out of time, so we got to announce the winner here.
I hope it's not you, Kurt.
I hope it's not me either. Wait, actually, I do hope it's me, but it's not me. It's Melissa Smith is the winner here tonight for her comment. Call Williams Lumber.
Call Williams Lumber. Melissa Smith.
After
That's
the
one of the top
broken
comments of the night.
I believe so. After the broken bat earlier on in the game, Melissa reminded us that
very worthy of the
we've
hat.
got to talk about Williams Lumber and how you can get your lumber there when you break your bat. And that reminder has earned you a free Saugerties Stallions ball cap. So congratulations to Melissa Smith here tonight. I don't know if you're still listening, but if you are not, we will get in contact with you after the game and see how we can get you the hat. You can either come here to Cantine and pick it up, or if you don't live close enough for that, we'll pack it right up and ship it to wherever it is you live.
That's right, Melissa. So congratulations to you, as it looks like Matt Deans is all set warming up. As I mentioned, it's going to be 9-1-2. Toohey, Altenberger, and Feinstein for the Stallions. As actually, Matt Deans is out of the game after his 1 inning, giving up 1 run. And Oneonta is going to go to their last man in the pen, an ex-Stallion in Andrew Workman, to try and close out this 1-run game, 3-2 Oneonta.
Yeah, Andrew Workman, a workhorse for the Stallions last year. I think he had the most innings pitched out of all of them. but then decided to transfer over to the Oneonta Outlaws when one of his teammates from Quinnipiac also decided to play for the Outlaws. But Workman, the 6'2", 190-pound righty out of Pound Ridge, New York. As I said, he's from Quinnipiac University, coming off of his sophomore year.
Justin Toohey, the first batter for Workman, is 1 for 2 on the night, a single and a fly out to left field. We'll try and get this going for the Stallions down to their final 3 outs. So far, Oneonta, the 3 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. Stallions 2 runs on 4 hits and have not committed an error. Breaking ball outside and the count 1-0.
Workman, a starter for the Stallions last year, but he has now been converted into a relief pitcher for the Outlaws. This is his 16th appearance of the year. In his prior 15, he's thrown 20 innings, giving up 20 hits for 14 runs, all of them earned. And 13 strikeouts to 14 walks, good for a 6.30 ERA.
The 1-0 is flared out to left field, but on the run, Mark Flynn is able to make the catch. So Toohey puts it in fair play down the left field line. Could have been dangerous, but Mark Flynn, who covers a lot of ground out there, able to put it away. So the first out here in the 7th inning for Saugerties. It's going to flip the order over for Ryan Altenberger, who is 0 for 2 on the night. A strikeout, a ground out to first, as well as a walk, a stolen base, and a run scored. One of the 2 runs for the Stallions. And it's outside, the count 1-0. So far, Workman has faced the Stallions twice, and he has not fared well. On June 4th, he gave up 3 runs in 2 innings. And on June 17th, he gave up 3 runs in .2 innings, or 2/3, that is. So 6 runs in 2 2/3 innings so far. And it's a hard ground ball to first, past the backhand attempt of Ben Dubas. So it's a 1-out single for Altenberger, his first of the night. Stallions have the tying run on first base with 1 away for Matt Feinstein, their center fielder, who is 0 for 1 on the night. He's been walked, hit by a pitch, stolen a base, and popped out to first base.
And this could be a heck of a time for a rally for the Stallions. 1 out, leadoff man on, excuse me, not leadoff man of the inning, but leadoff man of their lineup. And we'll see if the Stallions try any funny business. I believe being down 1 run and only 2 outs left, we won't see a steal attempt here. But Feinstein, one of the guys you love having up at the plate if you are the Stallions, one of their best hitters. As he came into this game batting .259 through his 135 at-bats. Also 28 runs and 20 RBIs to that. And up to plate in a huge spot here.
Here's the 0-1 to Feinstein. Fastball called strike, count quickly 0-2.
And it looks like the Outlaws outfielders are playing him to pull. And so there is a giant gap in right center and an even bigger one between the right fielder and the right field line. So if Feinstein can stick one out there somewhere, he might have a good shot at a double and getting Atlenberger to at least third base and possibly to score.
Feinstein calls time. He's got an 0-2 count on Workman. Stallions down to their final 2 outs. Altenberger on first has stolen a base tonight. Here's the 0-2 to Feinstein. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Great breaking ball from Workman, down 0-2. And he started at the knees, brought it down, and Feinstein couldn't lay off.
So just like that, the Stallions down to their final out of this 7-inning game. With a runner on first, they're going to need a big spark here from their 3-hitter, Matt Forlow.
Forlow 0 for 3 on the night, 2 flyouts to right, and then he hit a pop-up to right that ended up dropping, but Matt Feinstein, who could only be about halfway, was thrown out at second. Forlow also 0 for 3 in the first game, looking for his first hit of the doubleheader. He is second on the Stallions team coming into today, batting .292. First pitch from Workman almost hits him. Forlow gets out of the way. Count 1-0. If Forlow's hit there, that's big spot for the Stallions. They get the tying run on second base for Jack Gonzalez, who has hit like nobody else so far today. He's been ripping the ball basically every at-bat.
Absolutely. And also on the season, the leader for the Stallions in RBIs with 27. And so with a runner in scoring position and down by 1, nobody else you'd want at the plate besides him, but Matt Forleau has to get on base first.
Yeah, Forleau, big swing and a miss at a fastball around the shoulders there, so the count now 1-1.
And Beeks, we've seen crazier things. Unfortunately, the incidents I'm referring to, the Stallions were on the wrong side of. They were down, they were up, I believe it was 3-2 in the top of the inning. And 1 man on and 2 strikes on Liam Wilson, I believe, of the Amsterdam Mohawks. And unfortunately, Wilson hit a home run to put them up by 1 run, and Amsterdam later went on to win that game. And so by no means does 2 outs, 1 man on, and 1 strike mean that the Stallions are down and out.
That's right. Forleau, 1 home run on the year so far, so he can put the ball out.
And he also just missed one the other night. He hit one out at Amsterdam, but the umpire did happen to call that one foul. Many of the Stallions players believed that it was to the right of the left field foul pole, but the umpire disagreed, so he got duked out of that one.
And in the day game today, he put one about 360 feet away to left center field, just missed a 3-run home run there. It's a 2-1 count on the Stallions' second baseman, Matt Forleau. Ryan Altenberger leads off first. The 2-1 breaking ball hits him, and it is first and second. That tying run moves 90 feet closer, and it'll bring up the Stallions' first baseman, Jack Gonzalez. If you've been hit, call Delvecchia and Kraft. Injury attorneys at law.
You're right, Beeks. Not just if you've been hit with a baseball. If you've been hit by anything in general, you can call Delvecchia and Kraft injury attorneys, and they'll help you out. Anna Turner saying, is the video frozen? I don't believe it is.
You might want to try refreshing, as this is certainly a time you don't want the video to freeze. Stallions have first and second.
Do not want to miss this right now.
2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th of a 7-inning game. Game 2 of 2 of the doubleheader today between the Stallions and the Oneonta Outlaws. Jack Gonzalez, who is 1 for 3 tonight with a double down the left field line, a line out to first base, and a strikeout at the plate. Ryan Altenberger leads off second. He's the tying run. Matt Forleau leads off first. He's the winning run. And Gonzalez takes a big swing and a miss at off speed from Workman, count 0-1.
And Gonzalez just tried to end this game right there with that swing. An absolutely monster hack up there.
Forleau with great speed on first, running on contact. All it takes is a ball in the gap. But more importantly for the Stallions, they just need a hit for Altenberger to have a chance to score to keep this game going. Here's the 0-1 to Gonzalez. He checks his swing. And the count 1-1 as Foster West on the base path said he did check his swing.
And that was very fortunate. I believe we would have heard a lot of retaliation from everybody here in Saugerties had that been called the other way. And so Gonzalez in there ready to hit. I mean, he is in the box. Workman was not even on the mound yet. Gonzalez is ready for the next pitch. He's out there looking determined to at least tie this game up.
Here comes a 1-1 from Workman. Breaking ball in the dirt. Great stop behind home by the new catcher, Chris Trax, who came in for Nick Camarelli. And the count 2-1. If the runners go to second and third, this becomes even a deadlier situation for Oneonta.
Absolutely, and the Stallions fans are getting into it now. They don't want to see the Stallions go down without a fight.
Here's the 2-1 to Gonzalez. Fastball popped, foul behind home. Stallions down to their final strike. The count is now 2-2.
So this seems like an epic battle here between Andrew Workman and Jack Gonzalez at the plate. Both of them absolutely in the zone.
Andrew Workman, a Stallion last year, trying to take down his former team. He's given up 6 runs combined in the 3 innings and 1/3 he's faced of Saugerties so far this year. Trying to get out unscathed tonight and come away with the save.
Yeah, and Chris Trax going out there having a little chat with him before this next pitch. Could be the final pitch of the game unless Jack Gonzalez does something else with it. And they're going to talk it over.
Here's the 2-2 from Workman. Breaking ball outside, count full at 3-2. Workman wanted it. Trax held it there.
Yeah, Workman staring down the umpire after that ball 3 call. I mean, he tried to get the backdoor curveball on the outside to the lefty Gonzalez and didn't get the call. I thought with 2 strikes, it was very close to take. Fortunately, Gonzalez lucking out. And now it's 3-2, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th here. Stallions down by 1.
Runners take off. The payoff pitch, grounded foul down the first base line. Everyone will have to go back. Gonzalez missed, probably ending the game if that one is fair by a couple inches. It's been a game of inches for Jack tonight. From his line out to first to his line drive down the right field line, Trax will go out and talk with Workman again.
Yeah, he is going to chat with him before every single pitch here. I mean, I tell you what, Beeks, it is very dramatic right now. The Stallions have not really seen a situation like this here at home. The fans are into it. The players are into it. Runner in scoring position could easily tie this game up with a base hit.
Leo Cintrone warns the Stallions dugout, who have been yelling about Trax going out to the mound. It's going to be another payoff pitch to Jack Gonzalez. The tying run on second, winning run on first. Clay Simmons on deck, who is 4 for 6 on the day. Another guy you do not want to face if you're Andrew Workman. He's 1 ball away from loading the bases, 1 strike away from winning the game.
And it seems as though Workman is just really building the suspense here, as it is taking him an extremely long amount of time to get on the mound. Everybody here in Saugerties clapping along before this pitch.
The payoff pitch, line drive into deep right field. It's going to be caught. Mike Brown, Jack Gonzalez hit it as hard as you can hit it, but the all-star right fielder, Mike Brown, tracked it down. And as it's been all day, a game of inches for Jack Gonzalez. Just missed ending the game for the Stallions. Instead, Oneonta steals this one from Saugerties 3-2.
Yeah, and I mean, I got to admit, that was one of the most intense at-bats I have ever seen. I think overall, Jack Gonzalez won the at-bat, but unfortunately could not win them the game, as that one was right at Mike Brown.
Yeah, that's baseball. He hit it as hard as you can hit it. Mike Brown able to track it down in deep right field, and the Stallions and the Outlaws split the doubleheader. Saugerties wins the first one 4-0. Oneonta wins this one 3-2. Just getting out of that one. The tying run on second base, winning run on first. Gonzalez tattoos it, but Mike Brown there to make the play.
Yeah, Stallions definitely put up a fight there in the last inning, but unfortunately Workman with his first good outing against the Stallions this season and gets out for the save.
Yeah, just barely missed losing the game, as there's some talk between the Stallions and the Outlaws here at the end of the game, as there's some funny business, just people yelling at each other.
Reliever Kelly Colleen getting into it with a bunch of the Outlaws, and looks like a bunch of the other guys as well. And Coach Tommy Whitaker and Stephen Freer trying to get their guys back in the dugout and up into the locker room. They don't want to see a brawl after 14 innings of baseball. I mean, they split the series. There's really no need for a brawl right now, especially after the games are over.
Yeah, and checking in on the Utica game, Utica down 6-4 in the top of the 7th to the Geneva Red Wings. So if Utica loses, the Stallions will still be 2.5 games away from clinching their first playoff berth ever, as they are now huddled up. It looks like all the excitement is over. Everyone is exiting the ballpark. Nothing bad is going to happen. And we'll wrap up this broadcast. We will. We might have a post-game interview for you.
We'll make a game time decision about that.
We'll see if we can get one of the Stallions to chat after this doubleheader.
Yeah, I was going to say, after everybody's real heated right now after that, we'll see if anybody wants to calm down and have a chat with me.
We'll find out what happened.
But otherwise, either way, thanks for tuning in tonight to the first game with Biko and Hunter, and then the second game with Biko and myself. That'll be it here from Cantine Field. Stallions go down 3-2 in the second game of the doubleheader.
Yep, the Stallions go to Onondaga tomorrow for a doubleheader. And then the next broadcast will be Friday as Albany comes here. That will be at 7.
All right, so that's it from Cantine. And thanks, everybody, for tuning in. That's Biko Scala.
That's Curtis Jorgensen.
And